Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy CowboyJobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, I'd just be down here talking to myself. Well, I'm home. Tonight we'll be live streaming at 9 o'clock where we have over 10,000 subscribers, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys. Together, man, we are really spreading the mojo. So today, on First Take, it's kind of my guilty pleasure. They're talking about what else? The Dallas Cowboys and whether they're going to drop off the face of the earth. Now, let's be honest now. Repeating in the NFC East has not been an easy thing. In fact, the last time it happened was the 2003 and 2004 Philadelphia Eagles. So every year we've had turnover. Now, I will say this much. Well, actually, let's go ahead and watch the clip and then we'll talk about it.
Last year, the Cowboys had a season not many people saw coming, winning 13 games and making the playoffs, but NFL.com doesn't see that success lasting into this season. On the Around the NFL podcast, they discussed the loss of 4 covermen in free agency, the tough receivers they'll have to face in the NFC East, and the potential for Dak and Zeke to suffer from sophomore slumps. Stephen A., are your take? So last year, the Cowboys had a season not many people saw coming, winning 13 games and making the playoffs, but NFL.com doesn't see that success lasting into this season. On the Around the NFL podcast, they discussed the loss of 4 covermen in free agency, the tough receivers they'll have to face in the NFC East, and the potential for Dak and Zeke to suffer from sophomore slumps. Stephen A., are your Cowboys headed for a fall this season?
No, not at all. Not at all. They're gonna fall, but they'll tease, they'll lie to their viewing public. They'll give indications that they're destined for a championship. They'll have the most nauseating fan base we've ever known in mankind. To sit up there bloviate in front of all of our faces about how the Cowboys are gonna do this and how the Cowboys are gonna be champions and how the Cowboys are gonna do everything. And then right when you suspect that there's legitimacy to it, they will fall. Just wait. Take your time. Don't relax. Just relax. Chill out. Be patient. Somehow, some way, somehow, when it counts, they will let you down because they're an accident waiting to happen. It is who they are. It will not change, but don't think for 1 second that they're going to fall off the map and not win games. Oh, they'll win their share of regular season games, but they will sit up there and have everybody percolating about a championship. And that is when Cowboy fans will get their hearts broken yet again. Just wait, take your time, don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I don't see them as jinxed, especially not with Dak under center. I think Dak is really good. I saw him almost come back all the way on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers in a game they had no business in. But I also don't think they're going to fall out of contention. The idea that they'll fall off, look, they will likely not win 13 games again because very few teams win 13 games, 2 games in a row. It's just unlikely to happen. And also, the NFC East just got better. Forget about Washington. They're the perennial losers in that division. But the Eagles are trending in the right way, and they were elite. When Lane Johnson was in and that offensive line was good, they were basically an elite team or a very, very good team. It's only when he was gone. That was a tipping point that they weren't good. And the Giants, with that passing attack, are going to be a whole lot, not to mention the defense, the pressure they can get on the quarterback and the secondary. So the rest of the division got a little better, most of it anyway. And in Dallas, you're unlikely to repeat that record. But with that offensive line, Zeke and Dak, not to mention a 50-50 ball receiver in Dez, Jason Witten's still doing his thing, that alone is 8 wins. And they'll do better than that. That's a 10-win team, I think, at least. So not 13 wins, yes, but they ain't falling off like that.
We'll see. We'll learn a lot about...
Okay, so they don't think the Cowboys are going to fall off the face of the earth, but it is still a tall task to repeat as NFC East champions. But I feel that unlike some of the past teams that we've looked at, the Cowboys have more of an edge and have more of a base for their team than anybody else. I mean, here it is. I view Dak Prescott as number 1 or number 2 quarterback in the division. You guys will debate me and all that, but I still say Eli Manning is on the tail end side of his career. He's a turnover machine. I will say Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, but the Redskins can't even decide if they want to keep him or not. So he may only be here for 1 more year and then he's out. Carson Wentz, well, I got to tell you, Pennsylvania, I think the town burned down personally. But be that as it may, I still think we have one of the top quarterbacks in the division. I think we've got the best offensive line in the division. I will take my receivers and I will stack them against any other team in the division. I think we have a young, up-and-coming defense. And I definitely will say we have the best running back in football. Now, you can take the other teams. The Giants have a great defense and stuff like that, which can carry a team, but I don't think the offense is going to be strong enough to do it. The Redskins, well, they're always a dumpster fire, and I think the Eagles are still a few years away. But that's my personal opinion, and a lot of people will say I'm a homer. But let's take a look at some of the other recent division winners and see what they did the next year. Well, let's take the Giants. 2011, they ended up winning the Super Bowl and were a 9-7 team, but they were an aging team that had that Super Bowl hangover. Didn't repeat the next year. The Washington Redskins, well, they had RG3, the rookie sensation who lost the wheel and came back the next year, and that was pretty much the end of Mike Shanahan being in Washington. So they weren't exactly a great team that was well built with all those pieces. They had a bit of luck with RG3 being something new, something different that defenses weren't prepared for. Then you had the Eagles in 2013. Chip Kelly's second year, who he was still living off of Andy Reid's player, and began his purge of all the talented players that the Eagles had before. Chances of that guy, and we know what happened with the rest of the team the following year, winning the division again, as much as people thought Chip Kelly was a genius, I was never sold on him. I kept saying you can't keep getting rid of Pro Bowl player after Pro Bowl player and think that your system is the only reason why they win. And, of course, our Dallas Cowboys won in 2014 at 12-4, which had basically the same pieces they have right now, with one exception. We lost our quarterback. And, quite frankly, even through 3/4 of the season, we still had a chance, if Tony Romo came back, to win the division. That's how putrid our division was that year. We should have, had we had Tony Romo for the full season, easily won the division and been back-to-back. But we didn't. The Redskins won by default. And you can't truly say that the Washington Redskins in 2015 were a great young team with all these wonderful parts. They won the division because it stunk, flat out. There was nothing good about our division. Everybody else was under 500. So the Redskins won by default. And, of course, the Redskins do what they do. They go back to being that dumpster fire. And so now we have the Dallas Cowboys that were basically in the same position that they were in 2014, having really strong key pieces of a team together. A team that, for the most part on offense, is exactly the same that was blowing people away. A defense that's gotten younger, that's going to make some mistakes, but they're still going to be a very good defense. So, at least on paper, the Dallas Cowboys should be able to easily win the division. Now, of course, I will say this. The Eagles are improved. The Giants, I will say, is probably about the same place because I still don't believe they have a running back, and I still think their offensive line is crap, and I don't think Brandon Marshall is going to be that big of a factor. The Redskins, of course, well, they're a dumpster fire, and they're going to do what the Redskins always do. Not much. So, as always, friends, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. And don't worry, I didn't forget Jobu's refill, but it's too early in the evening for him to get that. He'll get it tonight at the live stream at 9 o'clock Eastern, and I'll see you there. Have a great evening, and be sure to have your questions and stuff ready for the Jobu Sports Report live stream. Hello, fans. Cowboy Jobu here, live from Oxnard with a group of Dallas Cowboy fans. And fans, what do you guys have to say? What a way to kick off the 2015 season. We're going to go all the way, fans. Back to you in the studio.